Well, thank you very much for this time. My name is Steve Willey from the great state of Minnesota to represent Wilger Industries. They're out of Tennessee. Wilger's been in the spray business for about 40 years. Started out making tips and nozzle bodies and have constantly, through small innovations, expanded their product line. What Wilger brings uniquely to the market is a privately owned company, very innovative, really pride themselves on service and making each product just a little bit better than the next guy. Mark Bartel, the owner, has a long history in this business and is probably the key behind many of the innovations that Wilger has come up with. His partner is in Saskatoon, that does a lot of the injection molding, rotor molding, the plastic work, and Mark does the machining and does the ultimate assembly of the product. Just thank you. They began to recognize some of the Wilger value. Wilger really came to be known through pulse width modulation technology that was introduced back in '95. As the product manager for the development of the case IH sprayer, I was looking for a way to make the sprayer much more versatile. And Mark came up with a unique combo rate and body system that allowed us to spray two tips out of the same location. Combined with pulse width modulation, Wilger pays specific attention to tip development that would work specifically with PWM. And through that, they gained a U.S. market and have constantly grown in the eyes of retailers the value of how Wilger partners with other technologies to provide a machine that is highly productive, highly efficient, and with great control over chemical. I think I'd like to speak to two things. One would be typified by this little illustration right here. What you see here is a particular orifice size. It's a tip. It's an O-size tip, but you notice there's 5 different nozzles ranging in different droplet spectrums. That allows us with PWM technology to zero in on a particular droplet size for a particular chemical. Wilger was the first to do that, as far as I know, the best one. They recently introduced a new nozzle that's unique, called the UR nozzle. It was really developed for dicamba. It's unique in that it has an inlet orifice, controls flow, an exit orifice controls your droplet size, as well as a third orifice now that adds a second pressure drop chamber to make even larger droplets. The other thing that happened with this particular tip, I'll have to admit by accident, was that the standard deviation from the volume mean diameter shrunk. So they got more of the effective droplet size around the VMD. So I speculate this is not only a good VMD tip, a good tip for dicamba, it's been approved, but that particular characteristic is going to make it a great tip for other applications beyond that. So 5 nozzles to meet particular droplet sizes and a unique new design that's not yet copied in the industry. The second thing I'd like to talk about is Wilger has made an entry into the electronic flow indicators. We have a small demo right over here. This last year we put out 5, I think, test units for early hour failure evaluation. And judging by the people that did the installations, people that sell parts as well as do installations on planters and so on, they rated the system as one of the top in terms of ease of installation, reliability, and the ability to do low rates as well as high rates in terms of starter fertilizer applications. It operates basically with a paddle here, like a flow meter. There's a jet on top of a filter that aims the fluid coming in from the backside, and the spin then is calibrated to a certain flow rate. Then it's passed on to the coulter or to the opener through tubes with drip checks on the end of those tubes, as you would any normal type of application system. It is Bluetooth. In a sense, it uses an Android-based display, and it can do 3 products. And you'll see here there's some green balls here. These 4 balls on top represent these flow indicators here. And if you have something where there's a problem, you'll see that the balls will begin to drop, give you an indication, turns yellow. If it's really bad, it goes red, it sounds an alarm. People have found this to be a lot more sensitive than the old manual style. But the beauty of this system is you can actually retrofit this electronic portion right on top of this. So if you have a manual system, you don't have to remove this. You have the advantage of having a manual with an in-cab validation. That's even finer tuned. Price range anywhere from a 16-row to around $3,000 to a 32-row around $4,400. But we're doing a limited production run this coming year to again just move that test validation a little bit further out on the time scale.